What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Joannis or Joe Hatagwa. I'm a Sierra Leonean American living here in Accra, Ghana. And if you want to know what the day in the life looks like for me here in Ghana, then this is the video for you. All right. We're live on all platforms. Instagram and Facebook is back today. So we're live on there and we're live on YouTube. So as we do every week, we're going to give a little bit of time for people to come on so we can start the live. I got some new people I see here on IG Live. Shout out to all the new people joining live. What's up? And shout out to everybody joining on YouTube as well. Peace. And you gotta tell me how to pronounce your name. Is it Manelik? I feel like I've seen this image before. Did you change your YouTube name? And then who do we got on IG? We got a bunch of people on IG. Shout out to everyone. Common Scholar. Live, Love, Forgive, Heal. I love that name. Shout out to you. Keisha, what's up, Keisha? Thanks for stopping by. All right, so we got a few people on the live. We got David on Instagram. On YouTube Live. What's up, David? Thanks for stopping by. We got a bunch of people on Instagram today too, or a few people coming on Instagram. Instagram Live. If you guys want to watch this on YouTube Live, I did pin the link to the YouTube. Mr. Bounce Los Angeles, what's up? Thanks for stopping by. Peace, salute to you too. And shout out to Mr. Bounce Los Angeles for putting other people onto my channels because they've been joining the live based on you. LA is in the building, as he just said. LA is in the building. As you guys might know, I lived in LA for 4 years before I moved back to New York last year as the pandemic hit. So, yeah. All right, cool. So, I'm not doing a presentation today. I'm just going to talk through everything I normally do on the presentation. Just to be honest, it's been a long day and I just didn't have time to update it. So I'm just going to walk you through it. So everybody who's new to the channel, first of all, welcome. Thanks for joining. Again, my name is Joannis or Joe Hatagwa. I'm a Sierra Leonean American living here in Accra, Ghana. I moved here in December of last year. And peace, fam. What's up to everybody joining? And I started this YouTube channel to share my journey with everybody as I moved here to the continent. I also had this Instagram page for a while, since 2019. And so this all revolves around the Authentic African brand. That brand really is about an e-commerce store that I started where I source products made on the continent, handmade, ethically handmade, and made by Africans. And I sell them in the US. So that's everything from like baskets to bags to jewelry to soap, lotion, everything. So anything African you want to buy, I sell on the store. And a portion of the proceeds does go to feeding, orphan kids here on the continent, whether that's in Sierra Leone or in Ghana. I actually have done both. So if you guys want to buy stuff made on the continent, then the Authentic African store is something you definitely want to check out. It's just AuthenticAfrican.com. And then also, I do new videos on YouTube every week, 3 videos a week, almost every week. The last 2 weeks, the previous weeks before last week, it was 2 videos a week, just because the week has been crazy, which we'll talk about, like what my schedule is like and why my weeks have been crazy. But I usually do 3 videos a week. So I do the live on Mondays. So I go live on Instagram and I go live on YouTube every Monday just to talk about whatever there is to talk about. I've done different topics like dual citizenship, getting dating here, raising kids here, what my experience has been like dating. I did one by myself. I've done one with a young lady from California who moved out here. I actually have more to come too. I met some people last weekend that I think will be interesting, so I definitely want to get them on here too. But yeah, so there's always a topic that I choose to discuss. Today's topic is going to be what a day in the life is like for me here, because people have been asking me what that's like. So I'll definitely go through that. Um, and then I do a weekly update, just what's happened that week. This week, I've had a lot going on with the house in Sierra Leone. And so, and I've discovered some new restaurants too. So I'm going to be sharing that with you guys. Um, so yeah, and then on this last Sunday or yesterday, I posted a video of the chimpanzee sanctuary in Sierra Leone in Freetown. People don't know about it, so I went there and basically filmed the whole thing, and so that's up on the channel now. This week, I'm gonna do the icons exhibit, Sierra Leone icons exhibit. So that was basically all the people who made Sierra Leone what it is today. And so those are the videos that are going to be this week. So the live is today. Wednesday is going to be what the week has been like. And then Saturday is going to be the Sierra Leone Icons exhibit. So I've done a bunch of that kind of stuff here in Ghana. So when I went to Sierra Leone, I wanted to make sure I represented for my country and did a little bit of the historical tours and stuff like that as well. Shout out to Rose Gordon, who just joined. Okay. And then who do we got on YouTube? We got DB. PCU and my fellow Mr. Oh yeah. So I guess Mr. Bounce Los Angeles put DB onto the channel. So shout out to you, DB, for joining. Appreciate it. Royalty, good day, Joe. Shout out to you, Royalty. Thanks for stopping by. Who else we got? Akwesi says, my brother, I want to take up Ghanaian citizenship. Oh, you want me to take up Ghanaian citizenship? Possibly. As far as I understand, I can have 3. And it will take some time, right? At least 5 years or 10 years. I did a whole video on that. In order for me to do it, though, it is tough because you can't really leave throughout the process. But there's a process, and it takes a little bit of time. But I've considered it, and it's likely that I'll potentially do it. I'm just still trying to figure it out. So it may be in the cards, but we'll see. Royalty says, and thanks again for the brother, Mr. Bounty is always looking out for the people. Yeah. Mr. Bounce Los Angeles, shout out to you for putting people on to the channel for real. I really appreciate when all of you are sharing this content with other people. Obviously, it's great for me, but I think it's also good for other people, because for me, the reason why I'm doing this is because I wish somebody did this for me. There wasn't anybody like me who had made the move, at least that I could find. Now I found other people since coming here, but I didn't find any single guys in their late 30s who had made the move. And so I didn't know what to expect myself. So like that's why I started this channel, really. And so yeah, pass it on to people who could find my experience interesting, or if they just find the content we do interesting. Cicely G says greetings. Right, Cicely? I'm thinking that's it, right? And it finally, you finally made it to Ghana. Shout out to you. Well, welcome to Akwaba. Welcome to Ghana. Shout out to you. You'll have to tell us what your experience has been like. If you want to go live, you can go live with me. Let me know, and I'll send you the link to go live. You can tell us what you've been thinking. All right, Mr. Bounce Los Angeles wants me to touch on veganism out here. I absolutely will do that. Since I'm going to talk about the day in the life here, that's going to be a part of what I talk about, because I got to eat. And so we'll definitely talk about that. So yeah, I mean, let's get right into the content. What about 9 minutes in, and people are still jumping on, but let's get started. So everybody's been asking me, like, what do I do here? What's my life like here? What does my everyday look like? So let me just tell you how I break up. Like, the 100% of my time is broken up into 4 main parts. 3 parts that are equal 30% each, and then there's the last 10%. So 30% of my time is focused on my day job. So I work full-time at the moment. I work full-time as the head of advertising for Jumia Ghana. Jumia is like the Amazon of Africa. They have 11 different entities. The one in Ghana is the one I'm the head of advertising for. It has been challenging, to say the least, in this role. It's definitely a new experience for sure. There are a lot of things that I'd love to tell you guys about, but that'll be on another day. But yeah, so So that's, I spend 30% of my time really focused on that, right? So that's, I don't know how many hours per week, but it's more than 40 hours per week. Then another 30% of my time is focused on um, my YouTube channel and my social media channels, right? So, for me, I look at this as a full time job building the social media channels, even though it doesn't pay me like that as of yet, right? Because I think the idea is to be able to get out this information to as many people as possible. And then over time, the value that I provide will then be able to provide an income that is sustainable. So the YouTube is a very, very big part of my life, and it takes a long time. YouTube, Instagram, they take a ton of time. So I definitely focus on those two too. And then the other 30% of time is focused on really just dating, social life, food, sleep, right? So, and then 10% of my time, that's 10% of my time. 10% of my time is social life, food, and sleep. That third 30% of the time, so I just did, what did I do? I just did 70%, right? So that third 30% of the time is consulting work that I do. So any consulting work, I consulted for a company I used to work for previously. I also do advisory work. So I'm an advisor for Google for Startups, Mest, and Founders Institute. And so from time to time, they ask me to come in and do things, talk to their startups and things like that. So that is 30% of my time. So as you can imagine, I don't have a lot of time for social life, for eating and sleeping. And so that's all done within the 10% of the time that I have. Because right now, if you guys don't know, if you're living in Ghana, you got to have a side hustle if you're getting paid a Ghana wage. It's just how it is. Okay, so Cicely says she'd like to go live another time. And yeah, I'm glad I said it correctly because I hate when people mess my name up. Okay, cool. All right, so what does my day look like? So I wake up at around 6 a.m. every day, sometimes earlier. So, like for instance, Wednesday mornings I'm up at 5, between 5 and 5:30, and the first thing I do is drink a juice. I drink a fruit juice. So I have a housekeeper here. She does all of my laundry, my cleaning of my apartment. She cooks, she cleans everything. She comes between the hours of 11 and leaves around 4 or 6 p.m., depending on the day and depending on whatever other stuff she has. And she's here Monday through Friday. And so on certain days, I have her making, like cutting up my fruit. And on other days, I have her making juices. And then she makes my meals for me too. So she makes my juices for me. So I wake up, I drink a juice, and then I do a workout. Not every day, some days I miss it, but usually I try to work out as much as I can in the mornings. And then I eat some fruit. So I eat some fruit, like cut up fruit, mangoes, apples. Mangoes are amazing. I love mangoes. So mangoes, apples, bananas, and what else I usually have? That's usually it. So that's usually what I have in my my fruit bowl. And by that time, I'm already checking YouTube comments, Instagram comments, and then I look at my calendar for the day when I have to go to the office. So every day at 8:30, we start our day at 8:30 here at the company I work for. We have a morning call every day at 8:30 a.m. And so I'm up. So I'm either on my way or at the office for that call. A lot of people take it remote. Sometimes I do it on the way into the office, or I try to make it to the office for that call. So we have that 8:30 call every day, and then I have my full schedule ahead of me, which can be a bunch of different things. Sometimes I'm back-to-back meetings all day. Sometimes I'm at client meetings in their office. Like tomorrow, I'm going to the office of one of our advertisers that we work with. And so yeah, so that's really what my day is between the morning and then the work hours. And then I come home. And so a day like today, I had a number of different things I had to do to finish up my day because tomorrow we have that client meeting. So I had to get ready for that. And so that meant that I was working on a PowerPoint and some other things until about 30 minutes ago so that I can make sure that I prepared for this live. So then I go live on Mondays, right? So yeah, that's what my day looks like. So by the time this is over, it'll probably be sometime after 10 o'clock, maybe closer to 11. And that's what my Monday looks like. Every other day is a little different because I don't go live on those days, but I am always working on other things. So I still have the e-commerce store, so that stuff has to be worked on from time to time. My social media, as I mentioned, and then there's just projects for work that I have to work on. So I definitely have to do that. Now, when it comes to dinner, as I mentioned, my housekeeper makes my dinner. So she just makes vegan versions of everything that I eat. So we use coconut oil instead of all the other kinds of oils that you can find available. And then and then she just makes like vegan versions of everything. So like if I'm having granat soup, which is like a peanut butter soup, we do that with uh, cauliflower and carrots and onions and not chicken, which is how I used to have it back in the day when I used to eat granat soup. And so yeah, that's really what my day looks like. Oh, I do this though. Before I leave to go into the office, I write a list of things down for her to do that day. So, like today, she had to buy fruits and vegetables for to cut up the fruits today, and then to make juice. So I wrote that down. Sometimes I'll make sure that she knows that she has to maybe she can do some laundry for me if there's some laundry that needs to be done. If the floors need to be cleaned, things like that. So I just basically put a list of things together for her for that day. So when she comes in, she kind of has some structure for what she's working on that day. And so yeah, that's what my day looks like during the day, Monday through Friday. On Saturday and Sunday, Saturday mornings, I try to make myself available for interviews. So I'm actually interviewing somebody this weekend. The interview probably won't come out for a little bit of time, but I'm interviewing a real estate agent, and she's going to walk me through one of her properties, and then we're going to sit down and talk about her life here. She lived in the diaspora, she moved here, and now she's in real estate. So I'm going to interview her. Some of my previous interviews have been with like Vanessa Camby. I've interviewed Rochelle Clark, some of those larger YouTubers. They've had bigger YouTube channels. I'm also planning to interview soon. You know what? I'll save that for later. As soon as she confirms and we actually get it, I'll definitely let you guys know. But I definitely got some interviews in the works. People that you guys want to hear from. Other people who've moved here from other places like Australia, England, the US, just what their experience has been like here, whether they're Ghanaians or they're other from other countries and they're living in the diaspora, what made them move here and what they do here. Because I think it's always interesting to hear what people's stories are, why they're here, what they do for a living, all that kind of stuff. So definitely going to be interviewing more people, and so that's what I usually do on Saturdays. And then after interviews, I usually come home and do more work because I have so much to catch up on and so much work to do. Anybody who knows me knows that, like, I don't know, probably like 80 hours a week or more, I'm in front of a laptop, and so I am on the computer all the time working. So yeah, but let's talk about the vegan cuisine since Mr. Bounce Los Angeles was asking about that. So there's two different things that I do for vegan food. So like I said, I have my housekeeper make vegan food for me, and so she does that 2 to 3 times a week. And then there's a company that I do that does home deliveries. And so there's a woman who she is called Devour Vegan. I think is what it's called. Yeah, it's called Devour. And what they do is you have to order on Saturday or Sunday at the latest, and they prepare the meals and deliver them on Wednesdays. So it's one day a week you get your delivery, but then it should last you for a week or so. I freeze some of the stuff and then I eat it throughout the week. They have like vegan chicken nuggets, vegan lasagna, vegan pizza with jalapenos, which is what I ordered, and then there's a vegan marble loaf, which isn't actual bread, but it's like it, and they use like cocoa, so not like milk chocolate, but like naturally derived chocolate. So it's really good, the marble loaf, and so I do that too. So yeah, that's how I stay vegan. Eating out at restaurants is difficult, so what I usually do is just eat like starters, appetizers. So that's where you get the vegetables or the salads and whatnot. So that's usually what I do to stay vegan. So yeah. Any questions for me, guys? I mean, that was that. I didn't have a lot to say about that. That's my daily routine looks like. It's pretty standard, but also like it's almost the same every day. Because for me, I think routine is important and consistency is important. If you want to attain the goals that you're looking to attain, you need to have a system and consistency. And so for me, that's it, which is why I go live every Monday at 9 p.m. And I've done it now. I think I just counted 15 weeks straight without fail, if you can believe that. 15 weeks. So this, I think, is the 16th week. So yeah, so all of you who've been rocking with me since the beginning, I appreciate it. All of you new people who are joining, thanks for joining. I appreciate that too. So Storm24TX says, what's your go-to meal and best protein besides beans and kale? So my go-to is I eat a lot of jollof rice and granite soup here. And then there's like a vegetable stew or vegetable soup that my housekeeper makes. And for protein, I also eat avocado too and beans for protein. So oh, you already said besides beans and kale. So avocado, what else? Oh, and like peanuts, right? So I get some protein from peanuts too. But that's how I get my protein is through those meals. What else we got? Any other questions? I know there were other questions here. Shout out to Devour Vegan. Mr. Bounce Los Angeles says, yeah, the food is good. It's actually really good. Let's see if I missed anything. How easy is it or hard is it to get plants for some good nourishment? It's actually not that difficult if you know where to go and you have someone who goes and buys it for you. Just makes it easy for me because I'm working all the time, right? So my housekeeper goes and does all my grocery shopping for me. So she buys everything. Yeah. And so yeah, it's not too difficult for me because I employ somebody to handle that for me so that I can focus on all the other things that I'm focused on. So great questions. Cicely says, great to hear about your vegan dish planning. I have a plant-based diet and I had banku and okra stew. Yeah. So banku and okra stew you can also have too, as long as they just make it without adding all the extras. But yeah, they could definitely do that. Yeah, I mean, it's not that difficult if you are at home or you know someone who's making food for you. It's difficult when you're at the restaurant because you don't know what they put in their food, right? In terms of like a lot of times people like to use beef stock to make stuff. So you just have to be careful with that if you're a person who really is like strict about making sure that it is really plant-based. From time to time, I've ended up in a situation where there's definitely butter in my food or something like that. And I don't go crazy about it, but I just do I just deal with it. But like obviously I prefer not to have any dairy products or animal products whatsoever. So Cicely says, I have coconut water and jelly every morning. I eat mostly raw vegetables and fruits, but have not been able to eat the raw vegetables as of yet. Yeah, I mean there are some here though. There are plenty here. Carrots, are cucumbers vegetables? Yeah, carrots, cucumbers, I've seen. Cauliflower, stuff like that. It's all here. It's definitely all here. But again, I don't know where to find it because I use, my housekeeper goes and buys it for me. So Cicely says, you don't eat at restaurants. I'm very strict about my diet. Yeah, I don't eat at restaurants. I'm very strict on my diet. Got it. Yeah. It's tough. It's tough to stick to it if you're eating at a restaurant, especially here because it's used for a lot of different things. Mr. Bounce Los Angeles wants to join me on live. Let me bring him on. Because he's been supporting the channel for so long, so I want to bring him on, see if we can get him on. I haven't actually gotten a chance to speak to him as of yet, so let's bring Mr. Bounce Los Angeles on. What's up, man? I'm doing great. Hold on, let me turn up the volume so everybody can hear you. There we go. What's up?
Oh man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm getting ready to head to the gym. So I just wanted to get in with you for about 5 minutes. My first question was, of course, about the veganism.
Yeah.
What about the restaurants there? How easy is it to get some plant-based food inside of the restaurants? And what percentage of people would you say are vegans out there or plant-based?
Okay, so to get it, to answer your first question first, so there's a couple of restaurants that'll have like vegan options. They tend to be more of the continental restaurants, right? So like Fat Fish, for instance, I went there and I talked to the chef, and he had like a whole off menu vegan options. But in general, if you're eating local, it's usually going to have to be the sides or the appetizers, right? There are sometimes salads, but it's like potatoes and things like that. Like because people aren't really plant-based here, right? So every meal comes with, it's like it's a starch and a protein, right? That's just how West African meals are made, right? So you can get it without the protein, but then just how it's prepared is challenging. Sometimes they use beef stock from time to time, or pork fat sometimes. So if you want to just be strict about it, I just do like steamed vegetables, potatoes, or something like that is usually what I do at the restaurants. And then what percentage of people? Man, I'm gonna have to say it's probably less than 5%. You know, maybe even less than that. Yeah, it's gonna have to be a really small percentage because when you're talking about local West Africans, it's like it's meat is like it's just a part of everybody. It's everyday life, right? It's just how we live, and it would have to be the diasporans that are living here that are probably the reasons why there's even a vegan demand or plant-based options on menus in the first place. And even those people that I meet and talk to, most of them aren't vegan, right? Like I meet most of those people through my lives because I mentioned it on so many videos, but I haven't met too many people that are plant-based, to be honest with you. So I mean, 5% might be generous. It might be like 2%.
Okay. I'm gonna cause a little controversy here real fast.
Okay.
Who has the best jollof rice? Is it Ghanaian or is it the Niger?
So I'm gonna say neither. It's Sierra Leone. How about that? Sierra Leone. No, I mean, look. I think we all have our own bias, right? Like, if you, I've asked Kenyans and I've asked other people this. Most people will actually say like Senegal. If you ask like East Africans, they'll say Senegalese do, and the Senegalese are the reason why jollof even exists because they had the Wolof people and they actually like created it. Um, I feel like, see, I haven't had Senegalese jollof, so I don't know. But in terms of between Nigerian, Ghanaian, and Sierra Leonean, I like Sierra Leonean the best. Um, and I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to piss any Nigerians off, but I do like Ghanaian jollof though. I do like it. I do like it a little better than Nigerian jollof, but I like Nigerian jollof too though. Like none of them are bad. You know what I'm saying? It's just they're tiers, and I think Sierra Leone jollof is better than both. That's my personal opinion, and all of you people out there can argue amongst yourselves because I'm convinced already. So there's no change in my mind. But yeah, I mean, if you ask a Nigerian, but I know a bunch of Nigerians here, and they'll all tell you they think it's Nigerians. You ask a Ghanaian, they'll tell you it's Ghanaian. So I think it's any. It's like hometown. It's like hometown pride. You know what I mean? I don't really think that anybody's really objective when you have this conversation with people. So my opinion is Sierra Leone, and maybe I'm not objective, but I like Ghanaian over Nigerian. But I will say I haven't had all kinds of Nigerian jollof. I was told today that there's like party jollof in Nigeria, and then there's like home cooked jollof, and that can be different. And so I don't know. So based on what I've tried so far, that would be the case. It was made by Nigerians in LA though, when I had the Nigerian jollof. So I haven't had Nigerian jollof in Nigeria. So until I do that, maybe I'll have like a real like solid answer. But I still go in that order based on what I've had. But maybe that'll change if I go to Nigeria and have Nigerian jollof.
Yeah, I see a couple of my brothers, man, and they jump and join the chat. My brother Reggie, salute to my brother Reggie, man, G4, and my brother Elda Boxing and jumped in here too, man. Peace to y'all brothers, and thanks for supporting my brother Joe. Hey, listen, I have two more questions before I get out of here.
Yeah.
So in terms of jams, because I'm doing boxing and kickboxing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How easy is it to get access to a boxing gym there in Accra?
Boxing gym is one thing. Now there are plenty of gyms for sure. That's definitely a thing here. So that I was happy to see. There's actually a gym across the street from me. Boxing gyms, I don't know, and that's not something I've even looked up. You know what I mean? Because I had a personal trainer, and we would do some like boxing stuff, but I never actually got in a ring. So I have to get back to you on that because I actually don't know. There Boxing is something that's like serious here though, because there's definitely like there's a commercial that like on YouTube every single time I turn on my YouTube videos. There's a retired boxer that's in this commercial about a paint commercial, and he's pretty popular. I've mentioned to them people, everybody knows who he is. So I know that there's a boxing community here, but honestly don't know much about the boxing gyms, like for those that are like casual or want to do it as, like to work out.
Right, right. And then my last, thanks for that. And then my last question to you is, how special are the Ghanaian women? What makes the Ghanaian women special?
Okay.
For single young fellas?
Okay, I'm gonna get to that in a second, but somebody did answer your question. So, and I just want to give them props. So, Talking Drums Travel says you have to go to Jamestown, the home of boxing in Ghana. So, there's your answer to boxing in Ghana. All Ghana's boxers come from Jamestown. It's famous. Retired boxer, his name is Azuma Nelson. Okay, so this guy knows his stuff. Okay, and a bunch of people joined. Okay, so yeah, I just want to make sure I acknowledge that first. It also gave me a chance to stall while I thought through that answer, because you asked me a tough one on that one. So, Ghanaian women, what makes them special? Okay, here's what I would say. I lived in Los Angeles. Los Angeles is the home of the plastic. You know what I'm saying? And you know it is. Everybody who wants to be on camera, right, moves to LA. I'm not saying local LA girls are doing it. I'm just saying everybody who's going there, though, thinks that they have to compete with everybody else who wants to be on camera. So there's a lot of work being done there, right? All the TV shows about, all the vanity shows about plastic surgery and stuff are all based in Beverly Hills, right? They're in Los Angeles, right? So, I would say what people do to get enhanced there, women have here naturally, right? So, and the proportions that people pay for are here. Put it that way. I'm trying to be as PG as possible, or as G rated as possible, right? So, yeah, I would say that's the huge difference. I would say. I would say also what I've noticed is that West African women in general, and Ghanaian women too, tend to be a little bit more old fashioned. So that has its positives and its negatives, but what that means is that a lot of times they're more open to do some of the things that traditional relationships are that are expected in a traditional relationship: cooking, cleaning, those kinds of things. Letting the man lead, those kinds of things. So they can be like more traditional. So if that's what you're into, that's more of what you would find here, right? But yeah, I mean, the natural beauty is the biggest thing, I would say. Also, very well educated, really smart women too. That's huge. I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily the difference, because our Black women are very well educated in the U.S. too. But they're really well educated here, and really, really. I just can't express the proportions enough. Like, that's probably the thing that catches most people's eye. Men and women who come here say that all the time. Like, I hear people talking about it all the time, and that's definitely a thing. It would seem fake because you're so used to seeing it in the U.S. it being fake, but like, it's all natural here. Some people come from other places with work having been done, but for the most part, when you meet the girls here, that's the big thing. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else, but that would be what I would say makes them stand out. So they're very welcoming too, and it's been great. It's been great dating here. I would say that. Put it that way. Yeah.
Right on, man. Well, hey, I'm gonna still be listening in, man. I gotta hit the road so I can head over to the gym right now, man. But I get what you're saying, Joe. Appreciate you on all your works, man.
Thank you, man, and thank you for supporting and telling all your people about it. And I'm glad all your people just joined. One more thing, Azuma said, sorry, no, Reggie said that Azuma Nelson had that classic fight with Salvador Sanchez, his last fight before his death.
Two greats.
Okay.
Two great guys, great fighters, and yeah, definitely classic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I would love to talk to you more, because this last weekend was a big fight, but you got to go. So we'll have our conversation another time. But that was a wilder fight. All right, Mr. Bounce Los Angeles, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you.
Peace, brother.
Peace. All right, this is the first time we get somebody on the live on Instagram, so shout out to him for stopping by. He's been really supporting the channel, so I really appreciate him. Okay. While A says, I'm talking drums. What did I miss? Drums. You got to tell me what you meant by that. Is it Jared or Gerard? You got to let me know. How's the COVID issue there nowadays? I would say we're told that the numbers have been increasing. Hold but the vaccination numbers are also increasing, and most people adhere to COVID-19 guidelines for the most part. So, um, I haven't seen too much of it, but I have heard of people, like people that I work with. We've been told from time to time, do contract COVID, and they have to do quarantine and all that kind of stuff, and it hasn't spread, but it has happened. So it does kind of hit close to home sometimes, for sure. But I haven't known anybody personally who's had COVID since I've been here. So yeah, that's a great question, though. Box fans, salute to you. Thanks for joining. All right, so Fode says Sierra Leone, the house. Okay, so you guys know, many of you know, some of you guys are new. I'm building a house in Sierra Leone. Part of the reason why I wanted to move to West Africa, because it just makes it easy to go back and forth. It's a 3.5 hour flight. I'm building a house in Sierra Leone. We're in the process of building the boys' quarters, which is where the caretakers are going to live. It's kind of like a separate house on the property where the caretaker is going to live. We are making progress. So yesterday and the day before, I had my contractor go and start the process of like building again. So they had to put some pillars. I don't know how to describe it, but some iron rod pillars at each of the corners, and then they're starting the process of building up the walls, which are going to be the exterior walls to the place. So that is all happening as we speak. So when that is done, which is going to be in the next like 2 weeks, then they start floating the roof, and then a couple of weeks after that, I'm going to be going to Sierra Leone to start with the electrical work. So I'm going to have both solar power and standard electrical power in the house. And so I need to go to meet with the electricians and the solar guys to make sure they're working in conjunction with each other, so that I have everything set up so I don't have to go back and try to fix it all later. YMCMB 1950 size says, good to see you. Good to see you too, my guy. Cali Cav says, do people got to be vaccinated to do stuff? No, people do not have to be vaccinated to do stuff here. They haven't put any of those mandates in place as of yet. Probably because of access is not really too easy to access. It's tough to require something like that when it's not easy to access. I know in the US, they make it easy to access. And so most people don't get it. Most people who don't get it choose not to get it, as opposed to can't get it. Most people. And so that's probably why they have more mandates in places like the US and other places. Yeah. So what else we got? Wiley says, but yes, Jamestown is famous for boxing in Ghana, and 5 of the 6 Ghanaian boxing champs come from there. Okay, there you go. So the boxers, so all the boxers that are on now because of Mr. Advance Los Angeles, there you go. If you ever decide to come here, go to Jamestown, and you will. That's where all the boxers are. All right, cool. Any other questions for me, guys? I know we're only 40 minutes in, and I'm to the ask me anything stage of this live. So feel free to ask me questions if you have them. I'm just looking through Instagram to see if I missed anything, make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, I see. Talking drums. I see what you're saying. YOA is talking drums on Instagram. Got it. Now that makes sense. Okay, what do we got? Any more questions from you guys? No? Okay, here we go. Brad's here. How are the lifestyle parties? So Brad is asking a question about lifestyle, which is how best would I describe lifestyle parties? This is more like the world of plural relationships, alternative lifestyle things. To be honest, Brad, I have no idea. I have not been to any. I've heard that there are some here, but I haven't been to any of those, so I couldn't tell you. But if I do end up going to one of those events, I have to let you know. But I actually, I do know that it's here, but this is a much more conservative country, so those kinds of things don't really take place as often, or if they do, they're like super secret, from what I understand. And so I happen to know someone who knows someone who knows someone, but she hasn't put me on to anything, so I have no idea. And that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother time for those of you who are on here, for me to go into all of that. But we don't have the time for that today. That'll be a whole nother call for another time. I'm actually going to be on someone else's channel talking about having been in a polyamorous relationship before, all of that. So that's a conversation that we'll be having. And so, Brad, you'll definitely want to check that out, because there's plenty that I think you might find interesting. Well, you know a lot about it, but you might find it interesting what life was like after that. Cicely says, I like the solar panels and half electricity. Are the panels affordable? So yes, back to the house in Sierra Leone. The panels are affordable. So there's a company there called Easy Solar that actually allows you to pay on a payment plan. So you actually don't have to buy it all outright. So you put it on a payment plan. You kind of like, you basically get a loan from them. So they charge a little bit of interest. So you end up paying a little bit more than the actual cost of it at the end of the day. But it's reasonable. I can't remember the amount per month, but it's actually really reasonable, because it's made for locals to be able to get solar. And so that's why they do it. So you can buy a panel. I think the panels, or a couple panels, are like $900 or something like that. And then you buy the batteries separate. And of course, the batteries are what is what's used to run the electricity at night. And the main reason why I want to go solar is because I want to live more of a sustainable, eco-friendly lifestyle. Just because I think it's important, and I got to practice what I preach. I'm the guy that tries to recycle. It's tough to recycle here, and if I want to tell people to do that, then I also need to be living that way. So yeah, it's gonna be half and half. But you have to use other regular electricity, because solar is not strong enough to support anything beyond fans at a TV. It can't even support a microwave, or like anything that's high powered, like washing machine, none of that stuff. So, excuse me, I do have to have regular electricity as well. So I'm going to try to reduce the usage as much as possible, but it's still required for me. So I do need to have it. Wow, Ace says, will I be here over Christmas? The hype has already begun. Yeah, the hype has already begun. I'm hearing about it. So to answer your question, I will not be here for Christmas. I'll be here later in that Christmas holiday time. So end of year, probably the 28th or so, I'll be back in Ghana. But actually, sometime in December or sometime in November, depending on how things work out over the next 2 months, I'll be in Sierra Leone at least until December 27th. My mother's coming to Sierra Leone. She's celebrating her 75th. Two of my sisters are coming too, and a bunch of my aunts and stuff like that. So we're doing a bunch of stuff then. So I'm gonna need to be in Sierra Leone. Also, I need to be there as long as possible for the house to for the next phases of the house to be finished. So yes, I'll be there. So, but I'll be here for New Year's though. I'll be here for New Year's, and I'm definitely going to be having a good time in New Year's here in Ghana, because I'm excited about that. I did New Year's last year, but it was without really knowing too many people. So now I'm looking forward to spending some real time here. Cali Cow says he has a statement. Naturally, Lamar 9 said, I just tuned in. Thanks for tuning in. Cali Cow says I should tell people to stay away from the vaccine. Cali Cow, I cannot give any medical advice. I will let people make their own decisions, do their own research, and decide on their own. I won't tell anybody. I will not tell anybody what to do and what not to do. But I hear you, Cali Cow. I know you've mentioned this before. You have your issues with it. I get it. I just would not say one thing one way or the other. I would say, do what you feel is right for you, but also making sure that it makes sense depending on how you want to live, because in some places they require it. Naturally Lamar 9 says, is the human sleeve real? The human sleeve. I don't know about the human sleeve. What am I missing? Did I miss something? I don't know anything about the human sleeve. What's the human sleeve? You got to tell me. You got to tell me what that means, and then I'll let you know if I've heard about it. Cicely says affordable. I guess when I said it was $900, I guess she said that doesn't sound affordable. I guess um, for the solar. Um, I think it's affordable. Let me know if that's what you meant. Oh, Jose Cruz, what's up? What's up? What's up? Yo, yo, yo. L5 says, how did you find a housekeeper in Ghana? Yeah, I got lucky. So I actually inherited my housekeeper from a friend of mine here. They were two friends of mine. They're a couple. They were leaving the country. They were moving out of Ghana and they were moving to, well, they're actually like living all over the world now. But they were leaving to travel the world and to do like remote living on the road, and she was their housekeeper. But how he originally found her before him and he was in his relationship, and then she was working with both of them. He spoke to the owner of the bar that he was living above, and when he spoke to that owner knew a bunch of different housekeepers, and he interviewed three of them, and she was the best of the three, and he hired her. He worked with her. He worked with her for like a year or so, and then he and his girlfriend had her for 2 years after that. So they all together was 3 years. And then I've been working with her, or she's been working for me since March of this year. But I got lucky. It was somebody else who did all the legwork, and I just got a chance to inherit who they had hired. So it worked out for me. Wow, it says amazing. Happy 75th to your mom. Thank you. She'll be 75 on December 4th, which is also Jay-Z's birthday. I remember telling her birthday was the same day as Jay-Z, and she was like, "Who? You mean Beyonce's husband?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. That guy. Yeah, yeah, that guy. Yeah." So yeah, December 4th is my mom's birthday. So yeah, she'll be turning 75. Crazy, crazy. Cicely says, "Great. Is there something like that in Ghana for solar panels? I too want to live sustainable." That's a good question. I don't know because I'm not building here as of yet, so I haven't really looked into that. I'm sure there has to be solar here. I mean, first of all, Acon has Acon Lighting Africa, which I don't know, how much they've gotten into every country. But as far as I knew, they were in Ghana. So at the very least, there's that. But there are other companies too. There has to be, because here you have so many hours of sunlight. It just makes sense to do solar here, and especially because all the generators people use and whatnot. It's just you definitely want to have solar here. So I'm pretty sure there's solar here, but I haven't done the research on it, to be honest with you. You should totally do a meetup, maybe at Sandbox or somewhere like that. Okay, okay, that's a good point. I should do a meetup. I think we have enough subscribers now that if I do a meetup, more people can come. You know what I'm saying? We can get some people together so we can all meet. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll actually take that into consideration. I'll do a meetup. I like that idea. I thought about it previously, but now that it's been recommended by someone who's a subscriber, I'll definitely do that. My guy Chris Clark. Yo, what's up, Chris? Shout out to you and everything you're doing with the High Impact Academy. I follow you on Instagram. I'm watching you. I see what you're doing. Teaching these kids life lessons and getting them prepared for the world while also making sure they're physically fit and doing their thing in sports. So I just wanted to shout you out because Chris is my guy from high school. We go way back. Fode says the lifestyle in Sierra Leone in December is going to be a boom. Yeah, so December in Sierra Leone is pretty fun. It's a good time. It's a good time. I definitely like to have fun when I'm here and when I'm here for December. So every country, as far as I know, in West Africa, like the expats or the diaspora come to like celebrate the end of the year. Sierra Leone has its own version. I know Nigeria does theirs. Ghana does theirs. In Sierra Leone, I have a crew. I have a group of friends there, so I get to really get together with them, and we all have a good time. Yeah, so we got a good group there, so I really enjoy that. But then also, I got a bunch of friends of mine from the U.S. coming to Ghana at the end of the year, so we're all celebrating New Year's together. So I'm excited about that too. But yeah, so I'm gonna get the best of both worlds. I'm gonna get a little bit in Sierra Leone and then a little bit in Ghana to end the year and start the new one. Oh, Cicely says very, very affordable. Cool. Romeo says your internet is very stable. Which provider do you use? I'm glad you're saying that because it wasn't always that way. That's why I didn't go live. I didn't start going live on my channel until I did. I wanted to go live on my channel earlier, but I didn't have sustainable internet. So in my area, MTN seems to be working really well, but that's not the same for everybody everywhere. There are certain areas in the city where certain providers work better than others. And so for me, MTN works really great here. Vodafone does not work at all. And I had Vodafone at first. MTN wasn't even available until like 3 weeks ago. They just put a box up, not 3 weeks ago, maybe 3 months ago. They just put up a box across the street so that I could have permanent, constant internet. So definitely it's MTN for me here. But there are other companies, Vodafone, Surfline, but most people do say MTN has the best internet if it's available wherever you are. Oh, Cicely says if I do a meetup, she would come. Okay. Well, yeah, let's talk about that. We'll talk about that. Let's see what I can do to pull a meetup together. Find somewhere where we can all meet up. And I'll figure it out. Like, should it be during the day? Should it be at night? You know what I'm saying? Like, should we be somewhere where there's a lot of people, or should we do like something like at a park somewhere where we could just all chill and talk and hang out? That is TBD, but I'll let you guys know if whatever I come up with for sure. Okay, cool. All right, guys, we're at what 51 minutes so far, and let me see. She says correct about the internet service provider, Vodafone Plug and Play, and it works excellent. I use Vodafone Plug and Play, and it works excellent. Okay, so we'll have to talk about that because I had some issues with Vodafone, but like if you're making it work, you're making it work, you know. Yeah. So yeah, if there's anything else, let me know, guys. I'm here to answer your questions. Today's a light one because I got a long night ahead of me. I got a project due on Wednesday morning, so as soon as we get off this live, I'm gonna get back to work. So you guys know how that is when you're working late nights. But yeah, so let me know if you guys have any more questions for me. Oh, so let me tell you guys. So Wednesday, like I said, I'm gonna do an update on the house, show video and pictures of the work that's been done so far. We made some progress, so I'm really excited to share that with you all. And I'm really excited to share the Sierra Leone icons exhibit because I don't think people know too much about Sierra Leone icons. There just isn't much information about them out there, and even for me, it was all new information. So I'm excited to share it all with you guys, so you guys get a chance to hear more about it and see who made the country what it is. Okay, cool. Well, I think we're gonna bring this to a close today, guys. Unless we got any more questions, I'm gonna leave a little bit more time for more questions, comments, anything anybody wants to say. Anybody want to join the live? I'll do that. But if that's it, we'll draw this thing to a close. If you guys want to contact me directly, my email is contact@authenticafrican.com. So if you want to hit me up about anything, investments here, there's some people talking to me about investments right now. Don't know if any of those folks are on, but I actually just heard back from the CEO who I have to have a conversation with him first, but he's definitely interested in taking on some investments. So if anybody's interested, he has a fish business. If you're interested in it, I'll send you like the proposal. He needs some money for it, but really good dude, really interesting business. It's not like a huge business. It's not going to like be $1 billion business, but he has some options like for loans as an investment or for coming in as a partner potentially and owning a percentage of it. So he's kind of a little bit more flexible than usual on investment terms, and so it might be your chance to get into an investment on the continent. But again, investing has its own risks. I am not a financial advisor, so if you decide to invest, make sure you do all your due diligence. All I can tell you is what I know about him, and he was recommended to me by someone that I trust. So that is what I can tell you. So if you're interested, let me know. I'll send you his information, and if you want to go further, then I can make some introductions. Okay, all right. So we are now at 54 minutes and almost 59 seconds. So if you guys are done asking questions, we are gonna bring this thing to a close. This is probably one of the shortest lives that I've done. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. If you guys find this interesting, go ahead and share it with your friends. Watch some of the old lives. If you're interested in anything like how to get your dual citizenship here in Ghana and what that takes, there was a whole 2 hour and 30-minute live that I did like 4 or 5 weeks ago with Ivy Prosper. She walked you guys through it. Uh, if you want to know about what dating is like here, like I said, we had Niger from Nice Corner come on and talk about her life dating as a single woman from California living here. I've done a live about what it's been like for me dating here. That's been interesting. And we've done like raising kids in Ghana. Yeah, just like updates on what my life has been like at different points in time living here, what it's like to work here. So all those things I've done lives on. So if you're interested in any of that, check some of the old lives. And then I've done a bunch of other things too. So those of you who are new, who haven't seen any of my videos before, I've gone to the Kwame Nkrumah Museum. I've gone to, of course, the slave castles here and in Sierra Leone. I've gone to the zoo, gone to the wildlife reserve, gone to a chimpanzee sanctuary in Sierra Leone. So I've done a lot of like wildlife stuff. I've done historical stuff. I've done cultural stuff. And then I'm also going to start getting into interviews more. So I recently interviewed a guy who's doing virtual reality here. I'm going to be interviewing some other folks here, all kinds of different people doing interesting things, people who have startups and also people who are moving here from other places. So I'm definitely going to be sharing that with you all soon. I just got to edit the videos, but like you'll start to see more edits. More edits. You'll start to see more interviews from me soon. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Fode says, Joe, doing a great job of sharing basically Ghana and Sierra Leone to the world. Well, I appreciate it. I try to. And I got a rep for Sierra Leone. You know, we're such a small country, about 13 million people on the west coast of Africa. Most people don't know about it. And so, you know, there's a lot of people who know about Ghana and a lot of people doing content solely about Ghana. I think one of the differences that I have is that, you know, I have dual citizenship between the U.S. and Sierra Leone. So I go to Sierra Leone as often as I can, and I get a chance to like share what I know about Sierra Leone with the world. And so I want to continue to do that because I think, you know, Ghana, deservedly so, gets a lot of attention and a lot of people come to Ghana, but we haven't had enough real like tourism in Sierra Leone, and I like to see that change. And so what I'm trying to do is share more of Sierra Leone with the people out there in the world so that they start coming to visit. All right, guys. On that note, I want to thank you all for joining. It's been great. It's been real. You guys are all great. Yeah, I'll see you guys all on the next video.